From oil rigs to mega hurricanes, Texas reshapes America. A state bigger than countries, richer, riskier, and more explosive than you realize. Here are 15 facts that will change how you see Texas. Fact 1. Texas is absurdly big. At 268,596 square miles, it's larger than most countries people think about. You can ski in the Panhandle and surf the Gulf in the same day. That scale turns routine problems into massive logistics challenges. Fact 2. Climate swings happen in hours, not seasons. One morning you can wake up to frost and by afternoon cross 100 miles into triple-digit heat. Those swings make planning hard. Infrastructure built for one weather looks fragile when extremes flip fast. Fact 3. The coastline hides more channels than you expect. Bays and inlets carve secret floodways inland. Storm surge finds narrow backdoors and floods towns that seemed safe on flat maps. The coast looks scenic until it rearranges itself. Fact 4. Texas has ghost towns born from booms and busts. Oil, pipelines, mines, and rails spawn towns overnight. When the cash leaves, so do people. Empty storefronts and silent schools litter the highways like lessons about fragile growth. Fact 5. Some towns have names you'll swear are jokes, and they're real. Earth, Dish, and Toya exist on road signs. Those names tell stories about settlers, commerce, and odd local choices. Road trips here are full of characters and surprises. Fact 6. The San Antonio Riverwalk is a city built on a flood fix that became magic. Engineers turned a disaster-prone channel into a tourism engine. What began as flood control grew into miles of canals, restaurants, and nightly lights. It's a rare win, infrastructure that became culture. Fact 7. Texas hosts the biggest state fair in America. Every fall, Dallas swells with more than 2 million visitors. Deep-fried everything, giant parades, and a towering talking cowboy draw crowds that test roads, sanitation, and power in one glorious strain. Fact 8. The state houses the largest bat colony in North America. Bracken Cave near San Antonio sends millions of Mexican free-tailed bats into the sky at dusk. They eat tons of insects every night and put on a natural spectacle that feels almost unreal. Fact 9. You can find the world's largest ranch and tiny family farms within the same county. King Ranch covers nearly 1 million acres, larger than some countries. Yet within driving distance, family-run farms tend pecans and vegetable plots. The patchwork of land use creates both abundance and tension. Fact 10. Texas cities are experiments in how people live together. Houston, with no formal zoning, mixes skyscrapers, strip malls, and neighborhoods in tight, unexpected mosaics. Austin blends tech campuses and live music. San Antonio weaves history and tourism. The variety creates innovation and friction. Fact 11. Food culture here reads like a map of migration and identity. Barbecue pits, tamales, Vietnamese crawfish, and fusion taquerias coexist. You can trace migration waves and histories through what people cook and where they eat. Food is a living map of the state. Fact 12. Texas hides odd scientific and historic firsts. The world's first rodeo, the birthplace of Dr. Pepper, and pieces of NASA mission control all sit here. Tiny places carry outsized cultural or scientific weight, and those roots still shape identity. Fact 13. Roads and speeds tell a story about space and freedom. State Highway 130 lets drivers legally hit 85 miles per hour. DFW Airport's parking lots and roadways are city-sized. These extremes show how movement defines life here, and how fragile those movements become when infrastructure breaks. Fact 14. Water fights are quiet and intense. From the high plains where groundwater is pumped faster than it returns, to coastal cities that wrestle with saltwater intrusion, Texas's water story is a mix of scarcity, engineering, and politics. Water policy here is often the real power struggle. Fact 15. Political and policy experiments here spread fast. A law, a tax change, or a local planning move in Texas gets watched. If it works, other states borrow it. If it fails, everyone learns a hard lesson. Texas often acts like a laboratory for policies that scale. Put these facts together and a sharper pattern emerges. Texas stacks extremes, huge land, sudden weather swings, cultural density, and odd local rules in a single place. That stacking makes everyday shocks cascade more easily. A flooded highway can stop a supply chain. A groundwater collapse can hollow out farms. A patchwork of local rules can turn a manageable risk into a regional crisis. When the coast fills its hidden channels, small towns flood through unseen paths. When a drought drains an aquifer, farmers go broke and food production shifts. When a booming city draws millions, roads, water, and services stretch thin until seams appear. Local surprises become national problems because Texas connects so many systems at scale. But the same mix also creates rapid payoff for focused fixes. The San Antonio Riverwalk shows that infrastructure can become a cultural and economic engine. Targeted water policy that stabilizes an aquifer helps countless farms. Simple rules on planning and zoning, where used, can ease traffic and prevent sprawl. Because Texas concentrates size and influence, smart moves here ripple quickly. The tactical truth is precise. You don't need to overhaul everything. You need targeted investments that shore up the most consequential links, protect the highways and bridges that carry food and goods, fund groundwater recharge and smarter irrigation to keep farms viable, invest in urban planning tools that smooth growth rather than let it collide, upgrade port access and low-lying roads so storms don't strand shipments, make grants and technical help available to smaller counties so preparedness isn't only for wealthy places. Human stakes are immediate and personal. Truck drivers stuck for days, nurses working under backup power, farmers watching fields fail. Their lives are first to strain when systems wobble. Resilience is not an abstract policy outcome. It's a safeguard for livelihoods and routines. This moment is urgent. Climate swings are getting faster. Migration and growth keep changing towns and cities. Political incentives still favor short-term fixes. Decisions made soon will set the path for a decade of either repeated shocks or smarter protections. Texas has what it takes to lead. It has money, engineering talent, and the scale to make pilot projects matter. Fix the roads and ports that move food, stabilized groundwater where farming depends on it, and scale urban planning that matches growth with services. Pilot those models here and other states will follow. But the other route is easy: delay, patchwork fixes, and politics that prize speed over durability. That path exports trouble. Failures here become national headaches. Start with the places that bind systems together. Fund resilient highway corridors that keep food and fuel moving. Invest in groundwater programs and modern irrigation. Upgrade low-lying roads and port access points. Back local governments with steady funds and expertise so preparedness is not a wealthy county privilege. Use public-private teams to get projects built fast. Keep people at the center. Emergency plans must prioritize hospitals, water plants, and food distribution. Subsidize resilience upgrades for vulnerable communities. Train first responders for cascading failures. These moves cut harm the moment systems wobble. Texas is a state of contrasts. Huge wealth against brittle systems. Cultural depth next to sudden shocks. That tension makes it both dangerous and full of promise. It's an urgent lab for the policies the rest of the country will need. Which of these 15 facts surprised you the most? Which Texas city should we examine next? Tell us in the comments and we'll map the danger and then show how to fix it.